New Tag Team Champions.
Tiffany Stratton advances in the US Championship Tournament.
And Owens attacks Cody Rhodes. Hello, welcome to Wrestle MSX. I'm Michael.
I'm Sally.
And after a recap of WarGames, we learned of 3 injuries that occurred. Bronson Reed suffered a broken foot after his tsunami from the top of the cage, and if you've seen it, it looks awful. Tonga Loa a torn bicep, and Jimmy Uso a broken toe. It would have been interesting to know what they had in mind for these superstars going forward after the WarGames match. I mean, Bronson Reed, I'm not so fussed about, but I'm sure he would have been in some kind of Seth feud title shot, Intercontinental title shot, something along those lines. But as for Jimmy, he was kind of a conduit for his brother and Roman, and Loa, although not a main player, he was still a piece of the Bloodline 2.0's puzzle. So it's kind of not caused a problem, but could cause a situation. It's got those, Anyway, after all that, we watch as Solo's Bloodline enter the building, pushing past Apollo Crews and then beating up security before heading inside. We then head back to the ring as Cody Rhodes makes his entrance. Rhodes was about to talk about the upcoming Saturday night main event and his fight with Kevin Owens when he's interrupted by Chad Gable's American Made. Gable said the transfer window, football talk, will soon be open and that Nick Aldis had put a call in to possibly bringing Gable to SmackDown. After calling the crowd simple and saying to Cody that he looks the part, as in a champion, he's actually a terrible friend towards Owens and that he was superficial. Rhodes reminded Gable that he was Shorty G and that he was Stardust and that they had both failed on their journeys. Gable then blurted out that he'd whoop Cody's ass. So Rhodey tells him to lace up his boots for a match later. We then learn of a trade window that has opened where the superstars will be traded between shows, so a mini draft pick, if you will. If you can then please also subscribe, it would be greatly appreciated.
Backstage we see Naomi talking with Bianca Belair and her triple threat match when Piper Niven and Chelsea Green roll up. Green said that Belair can now concentrate on finding out who attacked Jade, with Belair accusing Piper of doing it. Piper took umbrage to being accused and said she'd send Belair to the hospital, which was enough to trigger Belair, who then attacked both Green and Niven. The heels soon got the upper hand though, leaving Belair beat and on the floor.
Ring action now as we watch Tiffany Stratton, Elektra Lopez and Naomi battle it out in a first round triple threat match for the Women's United States Championship. Naomi was very quiet to begin with Lopez taking early control and then Stratton going for an early pin, but only getting a 2 on Elektra. Naomi does some kind of stunner to both her opponents via the ropes and then follows up by going over the top rope and landing on Lopez. Stratton then takes out Naomi and we then get a flurry of different pin attempts by all 3 women. Lopez then hits a Blue Thunder Bomb on Naomi, but Stratton makes the save on the cover. Stratton gets rear viewed, allowing Naomi to go for the split-legged moonsault on Lopez, but Candice LeRae tries to interfere. Naomi swats her away like a fly, then hits the moonsault as intended on Lopez. As she covers Elektra though, Stratton comes back, breaking the cover with a swanton and then throwing Naomi out of the ring. Stratton hits the prettiest moonsault ever on Lopez and covers her for the win and progresses to the next round of the tournament.
Backstage we see that the Street Profits have been attacked, with Nick Aldis saying they need medical attention as they've been hurt badly. We then see Motor City Machine Guns asking what's going to happen with their match they were supposed to be having with the Street Profits later, when Johnny Gargano appears. He says DIY can step in and take the Profits' place. Motor City accept this offer, with Aldis agreeing, but telling Gargano to tell Tommaso not to make him regret this.
Next we have Piper Niven with Chelsea Green against Bianca Belair. Belair seems to be sporting what seems to be an injury to her ribs, presumably from WarGames. Niven takes advantage of the ribs throughout the match, targeting them in every attack on Belair. A sidewalk slam gets Niven a 2 count just as we head to our first break. But when we come back we see Piper stretching Belair before delivering a senton, but then missing a splash. Belair runs Niven into the turnbuckle 3 times before hitting a huge splash from the top rope, the follow-up cover only getting a 2 count.
Mounted punches and a spear, yes, a spear by Belair get her another 2 count. We then get a countered moonsault, knees up by Piper, and a missed cannonball before we get a Piper driver with Belair kicking out on 2. Niven climbs to the middle rope to hit Belair with some sort of splash, but Belair gets up to stop it. Green now gets up on the apron to stop Belair, but gets catapulted into the ring. With Green then taken care of, Belair focuses her attention back on Niven, who's still on the middle rope. Belair gets Piper onto her shoulders and then KODs her right on top of Green. Belair then covers Piper for the win.
I mean, I thought Belair may have lost this one, especially with the injured ribs, which would make it okay to lose. As is it's an excuse. You would give Piper a nice victory.
Yeah.
Make a change for her just to pick up a win.
Yeah.
But no, Belair has to win again.
Even injured.
Even injured. I know she's great, but come on, give somebody else a chance.
Back from the break, and we see Byron Saxton confessing to Bianca Belair and Naomi that he saw Piper Niven at ringside when we saw the aftermath of Cargill being attacked. Why not say this before the match, Saxton? It could have saved us from this more fest.
Yes, it was a bit boring. Anyway, who did attack Cargill? As always, any thoughts, then please leave them in the comment section below. I still haven't got a clue who it was. I don't think it was Belair.
No idea.
And I don't, as it's been suggested.
Nice
what?
Split
beat
up.
her up and then had a match?
Yeah.
No.
To cover her tracks. Out next, Shadow Shinsuke. As he enters the ring, LA Knight comes out from the back. Knight says Shinsuke took a cheap shot and that he's the real deal, wanting a rematch right now. Knight puts his mist blockers on, sunglasses, and then enters the ring telling Shinsuke he's going to stomp him out. Just as Knight's about to step through the ropes, Andrade's music hits and he walks out. Andrade gets on the apron saying he's here for Nakamura. Knight says when he gets his title back, Andrade can get a first shot at it. Andrade then gets pulled off the apron by Tama Tonga, while Jacob Fatu attacks Knight. Solo then enters the ring as 2.0 allows Shinsuke to leave, but beat the other two up a little more. Solo addresses the crowd, saying he's still the tribal chief and he's still head of the table, challenging anyone who thinks they're weak before asking the audience to acknowledge him. He also says he still has this, meaning the Ulafala. I do find it interesting that he specifically mentioned the Ulafala, which makes me feel there's going to be some sort of match for it somewhere down the line. Winner becoming Ultimate Tribal Chief.
Yeah. Wonder if that'll be like the Mania event for Sikoa and Reigns. Yeah. I mean, I know Reigns obviously wants the title, but surely the Ulafala means more to him.
You'd have thought so, yeah.
Anyway, back from the break, and we hear from Kevin Owens, who's sitting in his car. He says he gets a rush when he hears he's going to be interviewed by Michael Cole in Minneapolis. But of course he's yanking our chain and he says it sucks. He adds that if Cole wants a chat, then he can come and find him in his car.
Tag team action now as the Motor City Machine Guns defend their tag titles against DIY. Ciampa takes it straight to Sabin, but Sabin soon turns it around, tagging in Shelley for some double action on Ciampa. Could have let Ciampa do a little bit more damage here, I thought, rather than just letting Sabin turn it around so quickly.
To say that he's annoyed with them.
Yeah.
It's like, let him lay him out, but no. Anyway.
Tommaso has a few words for Gargano as he's beating up Shelley, telling him how it's done. This again lasts for mere moments as Shelley sends Ciampa out the ring with Gunners double teaming Tommaso again. Back from the break and we see Shelley kicking out of a pin from Ciampa, and then Ciampa big booting Gargano by mistake as he aimed for Shelley, who ducked after being in DIY's corner.
Shelley makes the tag with Sabin going to town on Ciampa, hitting a crossbody from the top rope and getting a 2 count. More double teaming by Motor City got them another 2 count. Ciampa eventually made the tag to Gargano, with Ciampa telling Gargano to do something before pushing him. Johnny pushes Ciampa back, with him falling to the mat. Motor City then double-teamed Gargano, setting him up for Skull and Bones, while Tommaso tried to bring a chair into the ring. The referee caught him, makes a change, telling him to get it out of here. With the referee not watching the action though, Gargano low blows Sabin, super kicks Shelley and then tags in Tommaso, with the two then hitting meet in the middle. Ciampa then covers Sabin, picking up the victory. DIY become the new WWE Tag Team Champions. The fallout between DIY apparently a ruse all along, which is a shame because, anyway.
Next we see Michael Cole getting in Kevin Owens' car for an interview. The interview gives us nothing that we haven't heard already. Owens claiming that Rhodes betrayed him. Cole says that it's Owens that's the problem. Owens then telling Cole to get out of his car before driving off.
Backstage, we see Gunther and Nick Aldis shaking hands before Carmelo Hayes appears, threatening to go to Raw. Aldis happy to let him go, but then insists he has an opponent in mind, especially for him.
Last match of the night, Captain America versus the Iron Patriot, Cody Rhodes versus Chad Gable. Gable with the rest of America made, of course. After locking up and a few slaps, Cody sets up for a disaster kick, but as he heads for the ropes, Niall stands on the apron. Rhodes stops, allowing Gable to take advantage, working over Rhodes' ankle by smashing it into the ring post. Back from the break, and Gable is large and in charge, trying to get Cody in an ankle lock before drop-kicking his knee and covering him for a 2. A flying headbutt from the top rope also gets Gable a 2. Gable visits the top rope again, looking for a moonsault, but Rhodes joins him up there, hitting an inverted superplex.
Both men now dazed, with Rhodes coming round first and hitting a disaster kick, followed by a Cody cutter. Julius then pulls his captain out of the ring, knowing he's in danger, but the referee for once, and again tonight, sees what's happening and then ejects Team America from ringside, sending them to the back. Rhodes rolls up Gable in a pin attempt, only for Gable to escape and remove Cody's boot. With the boot gone, Chad locks in the ankle lock. Rhodes counters by rolling and projecting Gable into the ring post. With a dazed Gable, Rhodes hits a Cody cutter from the top rope and then goes for crossroads. Gable escapes, going for the ankle again, but Rhodes manages to get to the rope and out of danger. A German suplex but missed moonsault from Gable sets Cody up for crossroads, which he delivers with aplomb. The champion then covers Gable for the 1-2-3.
With Cody enjoying his victory, Owens enters the ring, looming over him, with Owens then attacking the injured ankle of Rhodes. The two then come to blows in the middle of the ring, with officials coming from the back, breaking them apart. Not for long though, as the two fight on the outside. They are then broken apart again, but as SmackDown goes off air, the two come together for a third and final time as the screen fades out.
Bit flat, I thought, this week. It's a bit like after the Lord Mayor's show, so to speak. You've all got that pomp and circumstance and all that. The highlight of WarGames.
Yeah.
And then it's a bit... I don't know, obviously they're building towards...
That's it, I think they're just saving stuff for the new year when they go to Netflix and that.
Bit bland, really. But anyway, don't forget, give us a subscribe while you're here.
And if you'd like to share, then please feel free to leave them below and we'll get back to you.
And again, thank you for watching.
And we'll see you Tuesday for Raw.